Hey, happy, beautiful, amazing day. Dr. Bob Rakowski here out of Houston, Texas, with a nutrition crash course, Nutrition for Performance and Health. I always ask this question. If we go back to the beginning of humankind, how much do you think human biochemistry has changed? How much do you think human nutritional needs have changed? And reality is probably not much at all. But how much has food changed? Well, so much so that, our ancestors probably wouldn't even recognize a lot of it. I like this quote from John Maxwell: policies are many, principles are few. Policies will change, principles never do. So we like to teach solid principles of nutrition and health. We'll go back to Hippocrates: let your food be your medicine. He also had a guy around the same time named Lucretius, and he said, what's one man's food is another man's poison. Now, think about that. Over 2,000 years ago, it was known that people could have food reactions. And I promise you, food quality was much better then. So probably more people having food that they're reacting to. And the sad reality from the movie Super Size Me: today, most men's food may be considered a poison to all humanity. And we'll show you how some of the data is stacking up. Jack LaLanne had a great quote: if God made it, it's okay. If man made it, throw it away. Remember, you are what you eat. That's kind of true. You are what you absorb. That's more true. You are what you don't eliminate. That's most true. But by the way, if you make better choices, combine better, you'll absorb better, you'll have the fiber you'll need, and you'll eliminate better. Michael Pollan, very famous line in his book In Defense of Food, he said, eat food, not too much, mostly plants. And that's a good starting point. But here's what I like to say: eat real food, eat clean food, not too much, not too often, every color, every day, in a way that honors your physiology and your body goals, mostly plants. And I'll share how that breaks down. So think about this. Is this real food? And I think if you look at the ingredients, you're probably going to know that it really isn't. How about clean? When we look at factory farm animals, they're not very clean. So they're actually beginning to grow meat from stem cells. Clearly, that's going to be cleaner. Look at all the herbicides, insecticides, and fungicides in our environment. By the way, they're wearing hazmat suits, but they're spraying it on our food. So how does that make sense? And then let's check this out. So the findings provide the first biomarker-based evidence that maternal exposure to insecticides is associated with autism among the offspring. So now these insecticides, things that they're spraying on the food, are solidly linked to autism. Then we have genetic modification. As one of my very clever patients said, well, once they modify the genes, you can't wash them off. You can't undo it. So by the way, some humans are thinking about undergoing gene therapy. Remember, you can't wash that off. And how about this PubMed study right here? Evidence the US autism epidemic is initiated by Tylenol, an over-the-counter drug, aggravated by the antibiotic Augmentin, a prescribed drug, and now exponentially accelerated by the herbicide glyphosate or Roundup. That's a really, really bad one. You look at the glyphosate increases over the years, it's exponential. And notice maternal glyphosate exposure causes autism-like behaviors in offspring. So definite connects there. So this was an interesting study. There's been some issues with data being blocked, and this was a study that was blocked, but they looked at the amount of glyphosate contamination in vaccines that they were injected into kids. So pretty fascinating there. And I think most people know that autism has gone up exponentially over the last 50 years. Not too much, not too often. Look at that 1918 quote: most men are digging, or most people are digging their grave with their teeth. Ben Franklin said this: I saw a few die of hunger of eating 100,000. I think you'd be shocked today. When you look at obesity and risk, that's a PubMed search, over 126,000 citations. Obesity is basically a risk for everything unhealthy. This gentleman won a Nobel Prize when he studied calorie restriction, intermittent fasting, and autophagy. Autophagy literally means your cells eating themselves, recycling what they can for the benefit of the rest of the body when the cells are wearing out and getting sick. And that's a very good thing. So how do we activate this? Fasting. I prefer intermittent fasting because you got to eat something sometime. Exercise, coffee, autophagy inducing supplements, keto diet. And by the way, I'm a massive fan of Ganoderma or reishi infused coffee. That definitely accelerates the benefits. Healthy aging, healthy metabolism, healthy brain, prevention of cancer, ideal heart health, all those things happen with autophagy. And their Ganoderma and autophagy, 23 different studies. And notice, good for Parkinson's, good for cancer, good for other things, according to PubMed. So how do you intermittent fast? You start eating later, you quit eating earlier. How about eat nothing before noon and nothing after 6 p.m.? Can you get used to that? Well, I promise you, you can. Will your brain and body thank you? I promise you they will once you get used to it. And I use a couple of biohacks. Coffee, you can have as much black coffee as you want, no calories in that. Again, reishi infused, really, really good. That's a good way to break the fast. And there's fibers that taste really, really good, but yet have almost no calories. Those are fine for intermittent fasting. Every color, every single day. Well, we know that different plants of different colors have different nutrients, and all of these different nutrients have different benefits and different phytochemicals, which, by the way, aren't essential nutrients, but yet they have health benefits. And this was a specific study on creating longer lasting brain health. And then we've got the compound effect. That's where every day comes into play. So what if you did 6 minutes of intense exercise every day? What if you had one more or one less piece of bread every single day, or both for just 10 years, right? So this is Gwyneth Paltrow in a fat suit in the movie Shallow Hal, there is as she is. But keep in mind, just a few choices that are easy to do or easy not to do can move your body in one direction or the other. You certainly want to honor your physiology. And as one of my great instructors said, we are all as different on the inside as we are on the outside. And you, of course, want to honor your genetics or eat like your ancestors did. And all over the globe, they had very, very different diets. And then what are your health goals? What are your fitness goals? Different goals, different needs, and mostly plants. And I love this Journal of the American Medical Association article, now over 25 years old. At every step along the road to malignancy or cancer, plant chemicals tend to reduce the likelihood of transmission to the next stage. So if you want to prevent cancer, how about mostly plants, every color, every day? I created a nutrition pyramid. We got nature's foods at the bottom. We went over that. Superfoods, I'll probably do a talk on that. Functional foods have a proven health benefit, a good multivitamin, multimineral, activated omega-3s with revolvins, probiotics, D3, K2, and that rounds out comprehensive nutrition, because today food is too weak to replete depleted cells and bodies. Every Tuesday, I have an Ask the Doctor at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. It'll be in one of my Facebook groups, but there's a meeting ID and a password, and I also post them on my pages. My website, thedrbob.com. I also have a YouTube channel, Dr. Bob Rakowski. And as always, I know that we can all be happy, healthy, and successful. So make really good choices and enjoy this amazing, beautiful day.